On November 5th, the Writers Guild of America hoisted their signs and began picketing against the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. The writers want residuals for shows and movies that are shown on the web, a doubling of residual payments for home video sales, and an expansion of guild benefits and pay for the writers on reality programs. However, the producers oppose, saying technology is changing quickly, so it is too early to set a payment for online shows, and that television programs on the web are for promotional purposes only, so writers should not be paid. I went to 20th Century Fox Studios to take a deeper look into how the strike affects the economy as well as the personal lives of the people.
I'm outside of the 20th Century Fox Studios, and behind me are some of the striking members of the Writers Guild of America. And today we will take a deeper look into how this strike affects the people. Many of the writers had strong opinions on what they wanted. What are you looking to gain from this strike?
We are more so than looking to gain something. We're actually just trying to keep the benefits and residuals that we already have, because the DVD market and the home video market and eventually broadcast television is going to be replaced by the internet, and we would like to just continue getting the benefits and residuals that we have now.
How do you think the strike is going so far?
The sides are not talking. Arnold, who I have my Arnold shirt on today, is trying to at least get the two sides to sit down and talk, because a lot of people are hurting from this, so we hope that we can resolve this soon.
The writers feel that the producers have a misconception on how they should be paid for online content.
They have a suggestion that they should be able to show shows and movies in their entirety as a promotion on the web, and this strikes us as a way of getting around residual payments, because of course if you show a television show or movie in its entirety, it's more than a promotion. It is simply the actual product. It is the thing, and we need to get residuals for that.
Many people believe that writers are millionaires. Can you please explain to us the misconception?
Well, I got into an argument with a couple friends of mine that believe that writers are millionaires, and they don't believe that what I'm doing is right. And another reason why I'm here is because as an actor stuntman, if the writers and creators of shows are on strike, then what is there to audition for? There's nothing. So without the writers and the creators, it's nothing. And what they're asking for is reasonable.
The head of the AMPTP, Nick Counter, said that most working writers he said that the average they make $200,000 or more a year. That is a false number, because anybody who's ever been to grade school knows that there's a mean and a median. And the only relevant number is the median, what the average writer makes. And the average writer who's working makes actually this is from 2005, $94,400 for men and $94,100 for women, which means that, by the way, half the writers make less than $94,000. I used to work at Bill Maher's show, and that's shot at CBS Fairfax. Now, to put this in perspective, the guys I know from Bill Maher's show, right now on Real Time on HBO, they work 10 weeks on and 10 weeks off. Not only aren't they getting rich off of that, they can't even find work in between those 10 weeks on, 10 weeks off, because you can't really solidly pursue other work with that schedule. So don't tell me about the millionaire writers that are greedy. That really pisses me off. What I do think is nice, and what I think says a lot, is when you see millionaire writers out here picketing, like I saw James Brooks at The Simpsons, like you've seen David Crane, like you've seen Larry David. Those people don't need to ever worry about residuals ever again. It's the principle of the thing. We know when we're getting screwed. It's very important for us to not get screwed any longer. The fact that those guys are willing to come out says a lot about the cause here, because they're solidly behind this thing as the guys making $60,000 a year if they're lucky. I think it speaks to the cause.
This current strike is not really for the benefit of us at all. It's really for the benefit of the next generation of writers.
That's true, too.
So the people who struck in 1988, and I was one of those people, were striking for the current generation of writers. The people who struck in 1960 for a pension health and fund were not striking for themselves. They'll never make up the income that they've lost, but they fought for a pension and a health fund that enables us to be covered by insurance, because we go from job to job.
Are you getting a lot of support from the oncoming traffic?
You know, it seems like we are. I think people are sick of the reruns. They don't want reruns, so they're out here supporting us, yeah.
And the students at Beverly are definitely sick of the reruns.
So, I mean, looking at these writers outside of Fox, it's really disappointing. Just to think that people are required to not work. I mean, that's like saying I'm not required to do homework, which obviously I am. And plus, I'm sick and tired of watching reruns of The Daily Show and The Colbert Report. Period.
I totally agree with where the writers are coming from, because I think that the internet is the future. And if right now, if the networks are classifying everything online as promos, eventually when all of television's online, the writers aren't going to be making any money for their work, and I just think that's unfair. So I think they should just come up with an agreement and do something that everyone likes, because I don't want to watch reruns of Conan anymore. It's no fun. No fun.
I agree with what the writers are doing at the moment, because I feel that the actors are given too much credit for the writers' accomplishments.
I guess I can understand that the writers want to get paid for having their work online and available and stuff, but I don't see them getting paid much in the first place because they're not even creative enough to come up with catchy slogans during their strikes, and reruns suck.
But how much longer will the strike actually last?
2 more minutes. So I hope. No, no one knows.
In 1988, the Writers Guild of America strike lasted for 6 months. Who knows how long this one will last? I'm Jade Rosenberg. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jade. Well, I personally support the writers in their strike. What about you?
I agree with them, but they do get worked up.
I know. Well, in other news, for the 2007 board member re-elections...